Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Naruto get massive harem in Resident Evil? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Legendary-Nioh for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is a tall boy 5 feet 7 inches in height, sharp blue eyes, gold blonde hair that reaches to his jawline, sharp whisker marks on each cheek, wearing a black and orange jumpsuit and black ninja sandals. The other man staring at him with an impassive look is wearing red samurai armor, a gunbai attached to his back, red eyes, and long spiky hair that reaches to his back, and he looks to be thinking. Naruto drops to his knees in exhaustion, but inwardly is angry with himself. Why am I so weak? Sakura, even Ino are stronger than me, and their fangirls. Have I been the village's tool all alone without me even realizing? Kyuso, damn you Sandame. He raged in his mind. Madara quirked an eyebrow before taking a look at his thoughts, and shakes his head. Naruto, that's what you are always going to be if you continue to stay in the leaf. I respect you for not succumbing to your demon's influence since you were a kid, but you can have a new life if you are able to beat me. I know you have one last trick up your sleeve, now use it. Madara roared as he charged Naruto, his gunbai in hand. Madara's statement made Naruto nod before activating his Bijou Moto one more time before flashing in front of him using his father's Haraishin no Jutsu that his father implanted in his mind to grab Madara before using to bring both him and Madara in front of the statue. Naruto immediately flashes through 30 hand seals before stopping on the ram seal. Sealing art, 9 celestial dragons reversal. He yelled as 9 blue chakra dragons flew from his stomach before attaching themselves to Madara and the statue before pulling them into his body. Madara's last thoughts were, good job Naruto, I can finally rest in peace along with my clansmen live on Uzumaki. He thought before letting Naruto absorb his body. Naruto screams as he clutches his stomach, his chakra begins to swirl around him, feeling his bones snap and muscles tear. He feels like his body is tearing apart. He feels the memories of the Bijou and Madara, their experiences, thoughts and moments. The chakra exploded out, knocking everything away in a 50-mile radius with Naruto in the epicenter. 5 minutes later, the Shinobi Alliance arrives on the scene with the Kages as well, fully healed, but what they saw shocked them was Naruto, who was different. Naruto could be described as an Adonis right now. His normally blonde hair has become longer, reaching his waist and spiky, sporting black bangs. Madara's hairstyle, one side of his face is covered by the bangs. His height increased from 5 feet 7 inches to 6 feet 3 inches, making him taller than Tsunade. His eyes are now a golden amber with a slit in them, decided to give him a different color from Matabi, making them look like a cat with a black background, but have the piercing quality in them. His jacket is torn to shreds, leaving his mesh shirt open, revealing his chiseled body, sporting a solid 12-pack and strong, condensed muscle that looks as if he can crush diamond and punch through steel. His face is devoid of baby fat, and his whiskers look more defined, giving him a feral look, making the girls drool. Naruto gives them a blank stare, before disappearing in a black flash. Shocking the leaf means that he knew the Yondame's famous jutsu that made Tsunade's eyes narrow in suspicion. This brat wasn't supposed to learn of his heritage till we told him. He's hiding something, doesn't matter, we need to get the seals ready for conditioning. She shrugged internally, not knowing Naruto read her thoughts, and made haste back to his estate. Konoha. 25 minutes later. Naruto roams his eyes over his scrolls that contains the stuff from his parents and the Uchiha compound. He found out he absorbed the Bijou and Madara's Edo Tensei body, making him perfect. He doesn't need sleep, drink or food in a basic sense. He is immortal and unlimited chakra, meaning he can't run out or get tired. This made him giddy. While the others are still at the site where he and Madara fought, Naruto created millions of Kage Bunshins and put them to work with learning everything ninja-related: taijutsu, fuinjutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu and kenjutsu. He found out he has an affinity to every element, including sub-elements. His thoughts darkened when he realized that his teachers purposely mislead him to make him weak so he wouldn't oppose them. This made his emotions flare and his amber eyes glow with malice until an evil grin spreads on his face. Since he has ended the war, this place no longer needs him. So with that, he sealed everything inside a large scroll and watched the progress of his clones while doing physical exercises to build his speed up, considering he is already a speed demon. After 2 weeks of training using the shadow clones, Naruto could gladly say he is a master of every ninja art, surpassing his predecessor Madara. He also found out he gained the Rinnegan, except his was a fusion of the Eternal Manjikyu and the Rinnegan, giving him all of Madara's powers and the abilities of the sage. He took the next few months secretly going out of the village, leaving a blood clone in place to hunt missing Nin, and master his skills and gain experience against different opponents. He also took this time to read his friends' thoughts and fumes when he realized that they were just using him. He grins when he realizes that the leaf will try to stop him. Good, let these maggots come. Time skip, 2 years later. Naruto is sitting on his father's head while eating a bowl of ramen. His clothes had a major overhaul. He now wears the same robe Tobi wore in the war, except his is black, and wears black gloves with seals for increasing his punching power, the Uchiha, and Uzumaki symbols displayed proudly on his back, and dark black pants with red bandages on his ankles while he cut his hair so it was only past his shoulders. He is going through the memories of the millions of clones he left at his estate, mastering some last-minute jutsus. Until is ready to leave, he also got rid of his contract with the Toads and became the summoner for the Ravens and the Phoenixes from the Uchiha clan and Uzumaki clan. He is enjoying his food until some unwanted guests invaded his quiet space. Looking back with a cold eye, he sees his old teammates except Sasuke, since he killed the prick along with his team, including Shino, Hinata, Kiba, and the other senseis of the rookies. He turns his head back toward the sky, ignoring them since he didn't want to be around traitors. "What is it that you guys want exactly?" said Naruto coldly, getting worried glances from them, thinking he is on to them. Naruto smirks as he looks at their surface thoughts before mentally commanding his clones to Harem outside of Konoha and get ready for departure. Shino asks a question. "We would like to be informed as to why you didn't agree to the betrothal contracts the council's assigned to you, Uzumaki-san." Naruto gives him a snort before going back to his food, making them frown. Kiba snarls before trying to attack Naruto, who dodges and kicks him into a tree, making it snap in half, getting glares from the Jounin. "You think I would not know of your false attempts to befriend me, hoping it would tie me to Konoha?" Naruto snarled ferally, his golden eyes glowing murderously, making them flinch. "Troublesome. Naruto, Jinchurikis are supposed to be weapons. You need to just accept it." Shikamaru drawls lazily before getting punched harshly by Naruto. "To think I fought Madara-senpai just to save you pathetic pieces of trash!" he growled as his hair spiked up like a fox's mane, making Akamaru tremble. Yamato shins in front of Naruto, blasting him with Ki to scare Naruto, who gives him a cold glare. "So what does my traitor of a sensei want with me?" Naruto sneered venomously, making even Neji flinch at Naruto's unforgiving eyes. "The council would like to speak with you, Naruto," Yamato said monotonously, hoping to get Naruto angry, but gets a blank look. Naruto unleashes 1/4 of his killing intent, equal to Sannin level, making everyone tremble and sweat. "Tell the council this traitor I quit," he yelled, getting looks from the others. Naruto turns to Neji and Hinata. "To think I stuck my neck out for you two just to be used. Goodbye, Hyuga clan is now my enemy. Any who annoy me will get their eyes ripped out," he said coldly, making them lower their heads in shame, but not before whispering, "We had no choice, Naruto." Naruto ponders their words before reading their emotions as his eyes soften. "Thank you, at least you two are the only ones who never think of me as a tool to use. Goodbye, Neji, Hina-chan," he said softly, making them nod tearfully before shining, planning on leaving Leaf for good. Namake's estate. Naruto seals the last thing his parents owned before vanishing into a vortex, using Kamui appearing near the gate. Looking around the clearing, he sprints away from Konoha using Jounin level speeds that looked like Kage level speed, not seeing the Umbu who are warning the others of his departure. Hokage Tower equals. Tsunade is discussing what to do with Naruto's conditioning when Umbu appear in her office. "Tsunade-sama, Uzumaki Naruto has escaped. He was last seen heading for the Valley of the End. Shall we send the rookies after him?" a dog-masked Umbu asked, getting a nod from the Hokage. What they didn't see was a smirking clones vanishing in a poof of smoke. Border of Fire Country. Naruto suddenly stops before processing the memory of his clone before shaking his head at Tsunade's stupidity. Did she really think that was still the same Naruto? He is practically the perfect example of a ninja, but he has emotions, no need to be like Danzo's root. He snaps his head backwards where he senses 20 chakra signatures 5 miles from him before blasting off using his new speed technique deprived from the Harem. He looks to be only stepping on the ground before teleporting. He senses a huge amount of chakra being used before seeing an earth dragon heading for him. This made him raise an eyebrow before punching the mud dragon, making it explode from his physical strength that surpassed even Hashirama Senju. He picks up the pace with vigor, seeing his former friends on his tail keeping up with him surprisingly. A few more minutes of jutsu dodging, he lands on the statue of Madara while sending out his clones to prepare the seals for the dimension hopping. Naruto turns his head to them. So still taking orders from those elders snooping in my life again, huh? Naruto said coldly, getting flinches from everyone. Kakashi stepped forward. Naruto, you were supposed to be this village's weapon, why can't you just accept that? He said lazily, trying to calm his student down, whose amber eyes narrowed at him, making him get a chill down his spine. Naruto suddenly started chuckling till I turned into a laugh of scorn, making them wince even more, knowing the Naruto they knew has been reborn. I'm not a container anymore. I used a few ninjutsu to absorb Madara's Edo Tensei body and every single bijou in the Geto statue. He grinned, showing off his sharp fangs, making Akamaru whimper while the other's eyes widened in realization. Tenzo spoke up. So basically your body is like Madara's body except stronger. Besides, you couldn't have trained that much. He replied stoically, getting an amused expression from Naruto, who manifested a black fireball the size of his head in the palm of his hand, getting gasps from everyone. Actually, thanks to getting Madara's Edo Tensei body, I won't suffer from mental backlash of the shadow clones, meaning I have been training using 1,000,000 clones each day to master all of my elements, and jutsu surpassing the Kage level and become stronger than the Jubi, which I add is me. Naruto roared as his Bijimoto activated, except his cloak was black and his eyes scarlet red with a black background. Why you master your Bijou abilities already, but how? Tenzo stuttered, completely afraid of Naruto now. I trained in my mindscape with this, meaning 1 minute out here is 1 year in my mindscape, so basically my control over my Yuki is perfect that I can use the Bijudama without my cloak. He said the last part proudly. Everyone paled at this. Now there's no way they can control him, but some scarecrow idiot tried to use his Sharingan. Kamui, might of the gods! Kakashi said as a swirling vortex appeared on Naruto's arm, who narrows his eyes before canceling the technique, making them gape at him, disabling Kakashi's strongest jutsu. Naruto deadpanned. You know, in case you haven't noticed, when I said I absorbed Madara's body, I meant everything he learned, including his bloodline. They paled before getting into their fighting stances, ready to bring him under their control no matter the cost. Naruto smirks before taking out his Hiraishin kunai before throwing them while sprinting. Kunai Kagebushin no Jutsu! One kunai suddenly became 100, forming a circle around their spaces. Kakashi paled and tried to yell a warning when he was suddenly hit by a low-powered Rasengan along with everyone else, stunning them. Naruto deactivates his cloak while using his gravity element to levitate his father's kunai to him and returns it to his pouch before walking to his clones as a black portal opens up as his clones dispel. Naruto turns his head briefly to them. Good riddance, Konoha, I am through with it. The war is over. That village has nothing but suffering in it, so goodbye. And just to let you know, Sasuke is dead since I killed him while I was out training. Bye. He said cheerily before vanishing into the darkness as the portal closes, with Kakashi cursing at letting his sensei's legacy leave the village. They didn't know that Naruto robbed Konoha of its money, taking every single thing with him. Naruto is in for a wild-ass adventure. Unknown Forest. Jill is currently running with Chris and the others after seeing their teammate Joseph get eaten alive. They are trying to make it to the mansion when she let out a yelp as she tripped on a root. She curses as her team is too far from her to help and aims her pistol at the dogs, taking out 3 of them. But 4 more are closing in on her, ready to tear her apart. She closes her eyes, waiting for the pain, not seeing someone jump out of a portal in the sky. Shink. Click. Everyone stopped as the dogs suddenly fell to pieces as a man wearing a black cloak with a black katana attached to his hip walks toward Jill and picks her up before running, instantly reaching Chris and the others. Are you all right, miss? He trailed off, getting a blush from Jill. Jill Valentine, member of SDRS unit of Raccoon City. Thank you for saving me, sir. I don't think I would have lived if you didn't arrive, she said shyly at being held by such a handsome man who has very beautiful eyes. Thank you for the compliment on my eyes, said an amused Naruto, who got a wide-eyed looks from Chris, Barry, and Jill. Naruto sees this and chuckles. Don't worry about that, it's a family thing now. We might want to get inside before more of those pests show up. Naruto eyed the surroundings closely, getting a nod from Chris as they entered the mansion. Naruto whistled, impressed. Man, whoever owns this place sure knows the rich lifestyle, he said, humor in his voice, getting a snort from Chris and Barry and a giggle from Jill, who can't help but look Naruto over and is impressed at his physical condition. They suddenly hear a bang, making them look around cautiously, except Naruto, who is frowning since he can see hundreds of dead corpses in this house and the basement downstairs, making a mental note to completely blow this place up. Jill, Chris, come with me to the dining room. I'm sure that's where the noise is from. Make sure your weapons are ready. Getting nods from his order, they reloaded all their weapons before going to their assigned areas. Naruto and his team walk in to see a huge dining room with clocks fully active before examining the room till they see a puddle of blood near the fireplace, which Naruto tells them to stop and sniffs. This blood is fresh and it smells human, and the scent is coming from that door that leads to the hallway, Naruto said with narrowed eyes at who would create such monstrosities. Chris opens the door looking into a hallway, seeing it was clear, but he heard the sound of tearing and biting, so he walked forward and let out a gasp as Kenneth's dead body is missing its head until he sees a pale-skinned man with milky pupils in his eyes that hold no life in them, but hunger, and runs back to Naruto. Naruto is looking around with Jill till Chris rammed through the door. Guys, we got a problem! The man yelled as he jumped back as a zombie tries to grab him till Naruto punched the zombie's chest, making it disintegrate. Jill gives the body a blank stare. You know, if we encounter more of these things we should let Raccoon handle it? She asked, making Naruto raise an eyebrow at her formality of him, since most girls would take a day to call him that. Chris snickers at Naruto, who bonks him on the head, giving him a mock glare before continuing on through the hallways, encountering a few zombies and crows, nothing that they couldn't handle. A few minutes later they look to see themselves in a graveyard with a zombie skulking around like a guard. Naruto signals them to stop and wait as he pulled out his black katana and beheaded the zombie and burned the body with a katan jutsu. Jill is shocked. Raccoon, how are you able to breathe fire? I know that's not human-like, she asked, carefully getting a nod from Naruto. It's because I came from a different dimension so I can have a new life since my village decided to turn me into an obedient weapon. Naruto growled at the last part, getting a gasp from Jill and a clenched fist from Chris. Naruto showed the scars on his chest from the abuse he suffered, making Jill cry in sadness, while Chris is trying to restrain his anger at Naruto's village. He saved his and Jill's lives in the forest. He came to see the kid as brother. Naruto hugged Jill and whispered soothing words in her ear that allowed her to calm down. Don't worry, Jill-chan, they can't find me since I'm the only one who has the means to do dimension hop. Booty won't be leaving this place. Besides, why would I leave a pretty girl in a place like this? He smoothly said, getting a blush from Jill and catcalls from Chris, which Jill pouts at. Naruto tilted his head over to the tombstone till they see an indentation of an arrow. Naruto pulls the arrowhead out of his pouch and places it in the socket, activating a mechanism that moved the stone forward, revealing a set of stairs. They walk down cautiously, keeping an eye out for any more zombies or birds with weird eyes till they come to a dungeon-like room that has a coffin held up by 4 chains. This makes Naruto quirk an eyebrow. Seriously, they make a puzzle that requires 4 masks when you can just blast the chains, or in my favorite action, cut them. He cackled with glee, getting shivers from Chris, who is starting to question this guy's sanity, while Jill is trying not to leer at his body while he isn't looking. Naruto jumps before slicing the chains in one strike as the coffin lands on the ground with a loud bang, making the lid fly off from the impact. Naruto looks inside and narrows his eyes to see a zombie, but instead of the pale skin, this one had crimson red. His eyes wander to a half piece of a crest with the umbrella symbol. He picks it up and finds some handgun clips for Chris and Jill, but jumps back as the zombie's clawed hands slash at him. George Trevor growls in his throat, breathing out green mist. ANC charges at Naruto, wanting to slice him to pieces, but is sidestepped and kicked in the face, flying into the wall, groaning. Naruto said coldly, "To think someone like you would succumb to the urges so easily." George growls before roaring at Naruto, slashing like a crazy man before his head is lopped off by a flash of light. Naruto sheathes his katana before walking back upstairs toward the mansion with Kill and Chris behind him, looking for clues. They reach one of the sick rooms and has to dodge from getting sprayed by a brown-haired girl named Rebecca. "Oh, I'm extremely sorry, mister. I thought you were one of those things in the mansion. My name's Rebecca Chambers, member of SDRS Bravo team. I was looking for my teammate Richard. I lost him on my inside the mansion when I was looking for Enrico," she said sheepishly, not seeing Naruto's deadpan look. "Guys, we should head out to find more clues about what is happening," said Naruto, getting nods from the 3 officers before setting out. Naruto and the others come into a library and look to see a blonde-haired man holding his bleeding arm. "Richard, what happened to you?" Rebecca yelled, worry for Richard's life. Richard winces in pain, something that Naruto notices. "I was attacked by a giant snake when I was searching for you. This place has demons and monsters in it. The poison is killing me already," said Richard as he is slowly going pale. Naruto moves Rebecca out of the way before his hand glows green before placing his palm on the bite mark and pulls back slowly to rip out a purple sludge before throwing it to the ground. Richard's breathing becomes more relaxed and calm before sitting up looking at his arm that has no signs of the bite on it before looking at Naruto with disbelief. Naruto chuckles. I'm not from this dimension, so you could classify me as a superhuman since my body can adapt to any virus that it comes into contact with. He said the last part with a dark grin, getting a teasing smirk from Jill. What's next? You can punch holes into a big-ass snake, she said, sarcasm dripping from her voice, getting a blank stare from Naruto, who is trying not to laugh at her wide-eyed look. Naruto snaps his head towards the ceiling and motions them to keep quiet before pointing up, making them look up slowly before paling at the sight of a humongous snake the size of a house who is slithering along the walls. Jill-chan, give me that spare gun you found in the hallway, Naruto whispered to Jill, who nods and throws a spare Beretta to him, and catches it softly, making no noise while he taps the clip and the barrel, adding seals to it. Naruto blurs from his spot on the stairs before blasting the snake with a barrage of bullets. Thanks to the seals he placed on the gun, he has unlimited ammo and can charge chakra into the bullets. Snake screeches before lunging at Naruto to bite him in half, but Naruto jumps over and channels right-done chakra till it has a vibrating static edge and slams down. Kurwa Raikiri! He yelled as his hand slices the snake's tail off, getting odd looks from Jill and Rebecca, who is wondering how powerful he is. Chris whistles impressed and sees some kind of writing on the clip and barrel. Raising an eyebrow, Chris wonders what they mean. Naruto jumps back and puts his gun away before charging at Yon with breakneck speeds. Naruto proceeds to give this overgrown garden snake an ass-whooping and starts raining blows on the BOW, adding Doton and right-done chakra to his hits, making chunks of flesh blast from the creature's skin. Naruto jumps back to see the snake is missing parts of its skin, showing some of its organs that are pulsing rapidly. Naruto inhales some air before spitting out a heavy stream of night blue fire. Katan, Dai Ryokan no Jutsu! Yon screeches in pain as it is slowly cooked till it is burned to ashes. Naruto motions them to come down and head toward the lower parts of the mansion, but come across an aquarium. This puts Naruto on alert since places with water tend to have swimming animals. They walk through a steel door and come face to face with a water-filled aquarium and freeze as they feel the water vibrate. Guys, I think we are in the feeding grounds, Naruto warned, getting confused looks from Rebecca and Chris, and asked him to explain. This place has sharks in it, I can practically smell them, plus they seem to be infected as well from their size, he whispered, getting pale looks from Richard and Rebecca, and wary looks from Jill and Chris, who are eyeing them warily. Naruto takes out a bullet shell and throws it to the far end of the room, hitting the rail, making a loud clang noise, attracting the BOWS to its location. Guys, put your hands on my shoulders so I can teleport us to the door, he said with haste, getting nods as they placed their hands on his shoulder, as he activated Jikuken Ito and teleported them to the door and quickly enter it while trying to keep from puking. It gets disorienting at first, but in time you will get used to it now. We need to drain the water and get the key to the cave's dash. He was interrupted by a smashing of glass. They looked to see a Neptune shark attempting to bust through. He quickly made 2 Kage-bushins and ordered them to activate the shutters to stop the shark. A few seconds later, Naruto's clones found the right combination and closed the shutters and drained the water. Naruto's group walked out and saw that the sharks are flopping around harmlessly without the water around, but stopped suddenly at seeing the huge Neptune shark with its eyes still open, eyeing them with hunger. Naruto deadpanned. I gotta say this, Jill-chan, if he is trying to intimidate me, he is gonna have to do better. Jill nodded. Naruto jumped on top of the rail before getting the key to one of corridors until he dodges a lunge from the Neptune shark. Naruto's eye twitched. You know what, you're annoying as hell, said an annoyed Naruto, who channels wind chakra to his sword and sent a very sharp wind pressure, making the shark explode in a shower of blood, getting gaped looks at his brutality. Sorry guys, it's my shinobi training that has made me not feel any remorse for killing, he said with a sad smile, getting understanding nods before heading back up top. Suddenly Jill and the others gasped as some appendages belonging to a plant grabs them and pulls them through the holes in the ceiling. Naruto cursed before jumping after them, wondering what other dangers are out to get them. Greenhouse. Naruto flips in midair before channeling chakra to his feet, sticking to the wall. Chris, you guys alright? He asked, getting no answer, seeing where they are looking, getting look of astonishment. He sees what looks to be a giant plant the size of a house, its tentacles waving around like it caught its prey, But Naruto hears a hiss. Looking down, he sees the floor melt, making his eyes narrow. Seems this plant's pollen is replaced by acid instead. To think Umbrella would go this far. TCH, I only need one jutsu for this, Naruto thought before inhaling a large amount of air. Katon, Goku Makakyu! He exhales, spitting out a nightshade blue wall of roaring flames at Plant 42, burning the infected plant instantly. Jill shakes her head. Always one for pyrotechnics, Naruto. She teased, getting a raspberry from Naruto. Naruto and his group encountered many new creatures that made them question how dangerous this place is and end up in a cave. Rebecca gasped as she saw the wounded body of Enrico, getting the others' attention before running to him, ignoring his warnings of stop. Naruto's eyes narrow into slits when he hears Enrico tell there is a traitor in Star. He narrows sit down to two people, Wesker and Barry. Naruto noticed Barry didn't have that intent to betray. Besides, he looked like his actions were forced. But that blonde guy Wesker was eyeing Jill and the others in a calculative way, making him growl. Jill turns to Naruto when she hears him growl. Naru, what's wrong? She asks, concerned, but her eyes widen in rage when she hears Wesker orchestrated this and tells the others and tell them to keep quiet, so Wesker doesn't know. Rebecca, get out of here, I can take care of myself, dash. Enrico yelped when Naruto gave him a sweet smile, too sweet. Enrico, you will be coming with us, is that understood? Enrico nods rapidly, getting snickers from the others and an amused smile from Richard. Naruto's ears twitch and snaps his head toward the dark in time to catch a speeding projectile heading for Enrico, and crushes it, and sees the assailant flees but pays it no mind. Guys, we need to get to the lower levels of this cave and watch your surroundings very carefully. I am hearing some movement, he warns, getting worried glances from everyone. Enrico grunts in pain before getting up. Those are the same sounds I heard, and it seems there are more of them, and it sounds like a reptile. He trailed off, getting shivers from Richard, who encountered those things as well. Naruto sees something that looks like an elevator. Guys, I found a way down to the lower levels, follow me, he said, getting nods before they all boarded onto the platform, but hears someone's voice. Looking to their left, they see Barry jumping on board. Naruto, I finally found you guys. I thought I lost you when me and Wesker got separated, Barry said, worried but could tell it was forced, making Naruto scowl. You better hope I don't get my hands on you, Wesker, thought a furious Naruto before pressing the red on, making the lift go down. The lift stops as Naruto looks around for a clue and sees a crate with a something hovering over it. Looking to his left, seeing a red on, pressing it, and watches as the crate is crushed, leaving a broken flamethrower which Jill picks. Naruto looks out of the corner of his eye to see Jill telling Barry to stop as he uses the lift to get back to the surface, leaving them underground. Let's go, I think that flamethrower will be useful later on, said Naruto before walking through the caves with the others, their guns at the ready. Up ahead, Naruto sees what looks like an anchor before something clicks in his head. Jill, hand me the flamethrower, he asked, getting a nod before she hands him the broken flamethrower and places it on the mechanism, and hear a click from a large rusted steel door indicating it has unlocked. And walk in to see what looks like webbing all over the place, making their eyes twitch in annoyance. More ING spiders, seriously, they mentally ranted in their mind before jumping back from a large gray-colored spider with its pincers clacking and 8 beady eyes looking at them with hunger. Naruto gives them a look that said, can I fry him please, using the puppy dog eyes on Jill and Rebecca, who can't resist giving him a slow nod, making Naruto grin evilly, making Enrico feel sorry for the poor spider. Naruto inhales some air. Katon, carry Enden! And exhales a large stream of blue fire, demolishing the spider, as well as causing a massive explosion, making the whole mansion shake. They cough and wait for the smoke to clear and gape, seeing that the flame blasted through every wall, melting everything in its path, including a few zombies and hunters. Naruto's sweat drops, thinking that he went a bit too far, but shrugs and continues on through and sees a mini elevator and grins, seeing it leads to the surface. Time skip 2 hours. Naruto hears a hiss, turning to see Young glaring at him with fury and hate in its eyes, seeing as it is missing most of its flesh. Naruto cocks an eyebrow, Chris mimicking the same. Didn't I burn your snake ass to a crisp? Maybe I should correct that now. He trailed off before jumping in the air over a lunge before activating his lightning armor, and uses his enhanced speed to punch a hole through the snake's head. Flawless victory, Naruto muttered as he shook the blood off his hand and smirks, seeing their amused expressions. Naruto looks to see a blue piano, but he feels the floor and finds it hollow, and with a smirk he raises his leg straight into the air before bringing it down, busting a hole in the floor, showing an underground passage to what looks like a lab. He jumped down, landing on the ground softly with the others following before entering the underground passage. Naruto grimaced in disgust from the smell. In the air it is as if this was like a feeding ground, something that Naruto was starting to dislike each passing second. He wonders should he make some reinforced Kagebushins to help find more clues. Kagebushin no Jutsu, he said, and mentally ordered his clones to spread out and search, knowing that the more dangerous creatures will be down here. The group had been searching rooms for more ammo or perhaps keys, but the next room that was opened contained something that would mentally scar Enrico and Chris their entire lives. They opened the door to see a naked zombie walking around, getting a twitch of eyebrow from Naruto, green faces from Chris, Enrico and Richard, and contemplative looks from Rebecca and Jill, who give Naruto a once-over. Naruto flashed behind the zombie and splits it in half from the head to the groin, getting winces from the guys and viscous grins from the girls. Naruto sheathes his sword to his waist and gives Jill and Rebecca blank looks, making them try to appear innocent. Jill-chan, Rebecca-chan, that innocent look is not going to fool me. Both girls pout at their fun being ruined, making Naruto roll his eyes before exploring the other rooms, in which they found an MO disc and understood what these were used for from the information his clones transferred to him. They ventured further into the underground laboratory in search of the discs and managed to get rid of the final lock, and went to the cell where Naruto sensed a life force inside. Naruto opened it slowly until the person behind it was shown, making their eyes widen in disbelief at who it was. Guys, we got to hurry to stop Wesker. He is trying to activate something far more dangerous than those creatures you encountered, Barry said grimly, getting nods before speeding toward Wesker's location and put an end to this nightmare once and for all. 20 minutes later, a banging noise is heard in the underground like that of a door, but it is actually Naruto punching through the doors that are blocking his way, leaving destruction in his wake and mangled corpses of BOWs. After this is over, I am moving to Raccoon City with you guys. I have a feeling crazy stuff is bound to happen. Naruto grinned foxily, getting laughs from them, even Barry. They arrived soon at a door leading to a laboratory showing tanks containing embryos and body parts. This made Naruto's aura darken with rage. This company umbrella just made #1 on my shit list, he thought darkly before observing more of the lab with the others. He stops as one tank stood out from the rest, showing something that looks to be a very grotesque-looking human. One hand was normal, while the other looked like a deformed claw. It also had red veins connecting to a heart and blank white eyes. Naruto frowns before looking over some notes on this BOW and scowls. Chris, this one is made from human DNA and the T-virus. From the looks of it, this one is the ultimate life form, snorted Naruto at the stupidity of these humans. The only one who was the ultimate life form is him. Naruto closes the file before slowly turning his head, slowly unsheathing his katana. I know you are in here, Wesker. Now why don't you just come out so I can carve your ass into mincemeat? He roared, shaking the room as his yuki flares, making red lightning arc around his body while the others keep their eye out for Wesker. Naruto suddenly turns to see the blonde asshole hitting a red and draining the water from the BOWS tank, laughing insanely, getting glares from Chris, Enrico, Richard, and Rebecca. While Jill and Naruto give him cold looks until the thing's eyes opened and thrust its claw into the glass, piercing Wesker in his back. Wah! The Stars captain screamed as the thing stabbed him its claw through his stomach and coughs up blood before falling limp as the tyrant threw his body aside. Barry and the others then attacked with everything they had, while Naruto provided support if they got injured. Eventually, brought it down and activated the self-destruct sequence. They made haste toward the elevator, picking up its battery along the way. Waiting patiently, they cursed when they heard the screeches of hunters closing in on their position. Guys, go on ahead, I'll meet you on the way, I will take care of this, trust me, okay? Naruto asked softly, his eyes glowing with kindness and determination, making them feel conflicted before sighing. Just please come back to us, Naruto, we can't lose you. Chris grinned, getting a smirk from Naruto, who tells them to go. After they left, Naruto slowly turned till he saw a whole army of hunters sprinting at him, their claws raised to slaughter him. He smirks darkly, his eyes turning scarlet red, making his visage look very terrifying to the creatures. Let the slaughter begin! Naruto roared before tearing into them, using his Taikenjutsu style to slice, crush, and smash the BOWs who are dying gruesome deaths while Naruto is cackling in glee. Oh hell yes! I haven't had this much fun since the war! Now bring it on, shitstains! He roared, his insane cackle echoing through the place. Equals heliport equals. Jill shoots the flares into the air until she hears someone's cackling, making her snort in amusement. Seems Naruto is having fun down there by those laughs he is doing. She deadpanned, getting giggles from Rebecca and amused snorts from the guys. A few minutes later they look up to see their rescue helicopter shows up, but suddenly backs up as a hole is blasted through the floor, and out came the tyrant, his blank eyes staring at them with rage in his eyes before smacking Barry away. Oh, someone is very pissed at us, and I don't think he is willing to wait. Jill thought dryly before blasting a few magnum rounds at the tyrant's back, getting his attention, and to her surprise he sprinted at her and tried to impale her with his claw, but at the last second she slid between his legs and backflipped near the others while Barry spit some blood out. I hope Naruto gets here, we can't leave him when he helped us through this nightmare, he said seriously, getting nods till the ground exploded and out jumped a very familiar face. Naruto! They shouted, happy that their friend was alive. He gave them a grin and gave them a two-finger salute and landed on the ground, making a crater before looking at the charging tyrant heading for him, and spins on his left foot and blurred behind the giant creature before slashing his arm down. Futon, Kaze no Yaiba! Wind encircled his arm as his arm slashed off the tyrant's arm, leaving him with only his normal-looking hand roaring in pain and agony. Naruto then begins to launch a chakra-enhanced uppercut to the thing's stomach, making it cough up blood before giving it 5 punches to the chest, making it skid back and smash into the wall. Jill talks to Brad through. Brad, we need a rocket launcher, think you can drop it down here? A large object fell from the helicopter, showing the weapon she had wanted. Jill grabbed it and waited for the tyrant to get out of the wall. Eat this, freak! She shouted, firing a rocket at the tyrant, hoping to blow him to pieces. But to the shock of everyone except Naruto, the tyrant smacked the rocket into the sky, nearly hitting the helicopter, and was about to charge Jill until he felt a hand grab him by its head and lift him up slowly. Naruto's face was devoid of any emotion. His demonic instincts were telling him to protect his mates, confusing him as he never thought that in such a short time Jill and Rebecca had such an effect on him. Naruto gave the BOW a icy glare, promising a painful death, and throws him into the air away from them and claps his hands together. Jill-chan, tell the others to stand back, I don't want them to get caught in my attack, Naruto said calmly, getting a nod from her. Naruto sees that everyone is out of his range and opens his palm, forming a glowing white cone in front of his palms. Since bullets won't kill you, how about we try death by getting broken down at a molecular level? Naruto smirked ferally, his eyes gaining a sadistic glint. The cone suddenly shot toward the midair tyrant and forms a large box around it and begins to glow brightly. Jintan, Genkai Hakurai no Jutsu! He yelled as the tyrant screamed, while its body suddenly vanished into nothingness, leaving no trace of its body. Naruto let his hands fall down to his side. There is no way he is coming back. I broke his body down on a cellular level, meaning everything about it is gone. He smirked foxily, making the girls curse that thrice damned smirk of his. It was just too cute. A ladder is dropped from the helicopter, with Brad telling them to get on as they hear explosions and climb very quickly along with Naruto. After they get inside the helicopter, Brad hightailed it out of there just in time for an explosion to erupt from the mansion, making them cheer except Naruto, who is looking downward. Why is he looking downward? It just so happens that Wesker survived and is now different, and is giving Naruto a sadistic glare, but gets a dark smirk from Naruto with a look saying, next time we fight you won't be fighting a tyrant but me, mortal. The helicopter moves toward Raccoon City for debriefing. Jill-chan, I think Umbrella has your so-called sheaf irons in their pockets. So when we get back to the city, I'm going to train you, Chris, and Rebecca to use the same fighting as me. It will help with fighting against Umbrella. He whispered, getting a squeal from Jill and a hot kiss on the lips, getting a jealous glare from Rebecca and a blush from Naruto and an impish grin from Jill. Naruto smirks and squeezes Jill and Rebecca's ass, getting low moans from them until Naruto whispers something in their ears, getting nosebleeds from them and a blush. Jill and Rebecca start to feel sleepy and decide to fall asleep on Naruto's arms, getting a soft smile from the immortal shinobi before looking out into the horizon. I have a feeling this isn't the last we have seen of this virus. We'll be ready next time, he thought before closing his eyes for the remainder of the trip to the city. Time skip, 1 hour later. Naruto feels the vehicle touch down, only hear the click of a gun. Cracking one eye open, he sees some walrus-looking man with a gun in his face. A flicker of annoyance flashes in Naruto's eyes. You have 5 seconds to get that pea shooter out of my face before I shove my foot up your ass. He drawled monotonously, getting snickers from Jill and Rebecca and a pale look from the man who moves away from Naruto. I am assuming you are Chief Irons, correct? He asked politely, getting a slow nod from the man who asks how the investigation went. The mood turned somber, getting a confused look from the chief. Their captain used them as test subjects for fighting carriers of the T-virus. They would not have lived if I didn't assist them, Naruto said seriously, getting a shocked look from Chief Irons. Naruto notices the confusion and reads his thoughts and quirks an eyebrow. Seems he isn't so corrupted after all then. He smiled inwardly. So Umbrella isn't really a medical company at all. They engineer bioweapons, Irons said furiously, getting sympathetic nods from everyone. Chief, I suggest getting someone who isn't affiliated with Umbrella to spread the news of their vile acts while we patrol the city. Never know who might be lurking, and Wesker is still alive, he said grimly, getting wide eyes from everyone. But how he was impaled by the tyrant at the mansion, Rebecca stuttered out, getting a nod from Naruto. Rebecca-chan, he injected himself with the T-virus, and it looks to have bonded with his DNA, making him a superhuman, but nowhere near my level of power, explained Naruto, getting a confused look from Irons, who asked Naruto what he meant by not being human. Naruto pressed a finger to the man's head and showed him the memories of his childhood. 1 minute later, Irons was shaking with rage to think that his own people did this to him because of something he couldn't control. Naruto, I would like you to become the captain for the SDRS Alpha team since you have earned the trust of them, Irons said with authority, getting a respectful nod from Naruto, who is smirking with Jill and the others. Seems I finally got my wish and got my own family, huh? He whispered loud enough for Jill and Rebecca to hear, who smiled in happiness and gave each other a look. We're sharing, aren't we? A nod was the answer before heading out. Needing rest from the nightmare they endured. And guys, I don't have anywhere to stay. Mind if I crash at your place? Naruto said sheepishly, getting dry looks from the guys, but the girls had a gleam in their eyes that made Naruto nervous and excited for some reason. Jill had an evil grin on her face. Guys, Naruto also told me something about his clan back at the mountains. The guys perked up and asked what it was about, earning a shrewd/amused look from Naruto. Naruto is the heir of 4 clans and is allowed to have multiple wives, she said in a sing-song voice, making everyone come to a screeching halt. The silence lasted for a few moments till the guys gave Naruto deadpan looks. Naruto, we so hate you right now, they said in unison, getting a barking laughter from the man. Jill is certainly a stunning woman, just hope she can back it up when that special night comes, Naruto said seductively, getting pleasurable shudders from Jill and Rebecca while the guys give catcalls to the girls. Oh, Raccoon, better not leave your door unlocked, someone might end up mounting you, Rebecca leered at him, getting shivers from the guys who are backing away slowly. Naruto snorts in amusement. Really, did I also forget to tell you I have unlimited stamina, Rebecca-chan? He leered at her, making her womanhood moisten slightly, making Naruto grin foxily. Oh, are you getting that turned on from my voice? Seems Rebecca is a sub, Jill-chan. Rebecca blushes at the innuendo about her UAL preference, while Jill gets a mischievous gleam in her eye before pinching the brown-haired girl's ass cheeks, making her yelp in pain while Jill laughs her ass off. Jill suddenly stills as a looming shadow appears over her, turning her head mechanically to see Rebecca glaring down at her, her brown eyes gleaming evilly before shrieking and running into the building, the Bravo team member close on her tail. Chris gives Naruto a deadpan look that clearly spoke of his annoyance. You are a lucky bastard, Naruto. Naruto smirks. I know, and I'm enjoying it, bro. He teased, getting a heated glare from the guys. Naruto smiles at the sky, seeing his parents' grins. I'm finally free too, San, Ka-san, and apparently I have 2 girls in my own heart. Chuckling inwardly at his thoughts before walking inside with the others, tired and happy to escape a very gruesome nightmare. But another one is on the horizon, and it will happen right here in Raccoon City. Umbrella HQ. Oswell. Spencer snarls in anger at the video footage his spies showed him, and is even more angered at how a brat destroyed one of his experiments that was close to being completed. He suddenly stops and thinks, maybe if I can get a sample of his blood I could make a better virus with more satisfying results. He thought, calculating the possibilities before pressing a on his desk. Yes, Manager Spencer, sir. A female voice sounded from the comm link. Sophie, please inform the members of Wolfpack they are to be pulled from retirement in 1 year for an assignment. Spencer drawled in a demanding tone. I'll inform Miss Lupo on your orders, sir. Sophie replied gleefully before cutting off the connection, allowing Spencer to have a smirk on his face at having a new virus. Time skip 1 year later. Naruto smiles while wearing his uniform consisting of black Jonin-style vest with multiple pouches. Under it is a black spandex shirt clinging to his body showing his toned muscles with black Umbu-style pants with seals for repairing damage. Black steel-toed boots, an Umbu-grade arm and shin guards made from titanium and weight seals to make them heavier than usual. He has 4 swords attached to his back, meaning he is a master of multiple sword fighting, while a green necklace hangs from his neck and letting his hair flow freely down his back, but instead of blonde it is now blood red. Next to him are 3 figures who walking alongside him, a black-haired woman named Jill Valentine who is sporting the same attire as him with 2 kodachis strapped to her waist and 2 samurai edges holstered at her hips. Her onyx eyes have a steel edge to them with a hint of playfulness. One of Naruto's wives and partners in battle. The figure after Jill is a tall man at 6 feet wearing an all-black version of a Jonin's attire, but unlike Jill he has 2 katanas crossed into an X pattern on his back that radiate power and fury. His brown eyes hold boredom with a small amount of annoyance while rubbing through his black shaggy hair. This man is Chris Redfield, brother of Claire Redfield. The third figure seems to be a girl a bit shorter than Jill, wearing a black bodysuit with Umbu arm and shin guards, her brown hair tied into a long ponytail with medicine and herbal pouches on her vest and waist, while sporting a black nodachi that radiates serenity and calmness. This is Rebecca Chambers. Her blue eyes seem to glow with mischief and kindness. This is Naruto's second wife and medic for their team since Enrico and the others have retired. These 4 are walking toward a restaurant in Raccoon City for some pizza while keeping their senses up since they have been smelling death in the air. They enter the double doors of an pizza parlor with a gray-haired man grinning at them, getting smirks in return. "How you been, old man, still making those delicious pizzas?" Naruto teased, getting a mock glare from the elder man. Chris shakes his head, chuckling. "Only you, Naruto, would tease someone this old about making pizza for over 20 years. Jill and Rebecca let out unladylike snorts before sitting down ordering their pizzas. Over the years things have gotten pretty heated at their department. It turns out that half of the officers are on Umbrella's payroll and keep giving Naruto and Chris glares while Rebecca and Jill get perverted leers. That ended up with them getting their manhood stomped on repeatedly by Naruto. Naruto found out from one of his special clones that is disguised as an executive from Umbrella found out that their manager is sending in a special Umbrella team to bring him in for testing, making him scoff. He is clearly being underestimated. He then turns to Chris, Jill, and Rebecca to think they were just powerless people, but now he can easily say these guys are more powerful than Umbu captains. Chris, the taijutsu, kenjutsu, ninjutsu expert. Jill, the ninjutsu, genjutsu and taijutsu expert. Rebecca, the taijutsu, kenjutsu, ninjutsu and medic expert. He taught all 3 of them their fields and allowed them to train on their own when they reached his expectations and had gained experience to give him a little challenge at least. He looked at Jill and Rebecca, the 2 loves of his life since he was betrayed by his friends except Hinata, Niji, and the clan heads. He found out that both wanted to share him but told him no till 2 years after marriage. That made him happy since he didn't want to rush things. He looks at Chris out of the corner of his eye. In their past years he seemed to have developed a bored yet annoyed mindset when it came to Umbrella, but when around Naruto and the others he is more relaxed and funny. He also took up the role of being a brother figure to Naruto and the others. A bell rung as another guy stepped, making Naruto smile. A red-haired man in his 20s wearing the same attire as him except his has the insignia of the Alpha Team while 2 Tontos are strapped to his back crisscross. This is Leon S. Kennedy. Naruto remembers how they met after he finished training Chris, Jill, and Rebecca to think he only wanted was to be acknowledged. Author Kenjutsu Flashback Jutsu. Naruto is talking with Chris when he hears a curse, turning to see a man with red shaggy hair brawling with a group of thugs looking at a woman with lust in their eyes. Naruto blinks for a minute. "Wait a minute, Chris, isn't that our buddy Leon?" he asked, getting a nod from Naruto who is watching Leon closely. Leon is giving the thugs a very cold look compared to his free-spirited look, gripping his fists together in a taekwondo stance, making them laugh before charging the redhead with knives flashing in their hands. Leon smirks darkly. "Let's rumble, assholes." Next thing the thug leader knows, he is launched into a wall, making it crack slightly, making the others gawk at the physical strength of Leon, getting an impressed nod from Naruto who watches the event unfold. "The kid's got skills and power, that's for sure." Chris whistled, getting nods from Naruto who is suddenly having flashbacks of his life as a little kid who wanted to prove everyone wrong. "To think this guy reminds me of myself back in Konoha. Has seems I got another one to train." Naruto chuckled inwardly before narrowing his eyes at some RPD officers not assisting Leon. Naruto nudges Chris and points his finger at the officers, making Chris narrow his eyes into slits, making him raise an eyebrow. Seems my aura that pours out of me affected them in many ways. Naruto mused before hearing a grunt of pain, looking to see an officer smash his baton into Leon's back, laughing with the others. Yeah, should have allowed those thugs to get the girl. She is nothing but cannon fodder anyway, just like you are and your family of thieves. The officer sneered heavily, getting a snarl from Leon, who then proceeds to smash his elbow into the man's knee, making scream in pain. You ing bastard, my family was framed by Umbrella. Don't you dare say anything about them. It's because of them I am shunned by my own friends. Leon roared, continuing launching blows to the man's face, getting blood caked on his hair and face, making the others back away. Naruto and Chris walk up behind them, making them freeze except Leon, who is watching them grin. Nice to see you join us, bro, Leon said, smirking at the pale looks from the Umbrella spies. Leon, get the girl and get to Chief Irons now, Naruto ordered, getting a nod before turning back to the officers who have guns and batons out, making Naruto scoff before beheading Hibotus and burning them. Leon, come to me tomorrow so I can begin your training so you can protect yourself and your precious people. Leon grins and nods before running to the station with the girl in tow. He reminds me so much of myself that it isn't funny. Naruto chuckles before walking home with Chris doing the same. Flashback end. Naruto grins and blurs behind Leon, putting his best friend / brother in a headlock, making him yelp before struggling to get loose, getting snickers from Jill and Chris. Getting a bit slow there, little bro. I hope that doesn't mean I have to up your training again, Naruto said, sadistically, getting a shaking of heads from Leon. Naruto releases him, getting a mock glare from Leon, who suddenly gets serious look in his gray eyes. Naruto, I think another outbreak is on our hands in our city. I smelled rotting flesh in the air this morning. Getting worried looks from the civilians who believe them. Naruto smacks his forehead in annoyance. That's not all, Leon. When the outbreak begins, Umbrella is going to send in their elite team, Wolfpack. He hissed the name out, getting bulged eyes from them, never knowing that Umbrella would be this desperate. They want a sample of my blood since I was the one who killed one of their top experiments. But what they don't know is that my blood is toxic and immune to any viruses and cannot be injected unless they want to have their insides melted. Naruto smirked darkly, getting chortles from Chris and Leon. Two pans are suddenly set on the table, showing two large cheese pizzas, making Chris drool before taking a slice and eats it. MMH, best cheese pizza I have ever tasted. Chris grins as the others start eating their slices. Soon the pans are empty. Naruto finishes his last slice before looking outside to see it's nighttime. Aji-sen, here's the money. Make sure your houses are barricaded and have some sharp weapons, and remember, aim for the neck, he warned, getting nods from them before walking out. Naruto and his group walk down the street to get in their patrol car, but stop as a crow lands in front of them. What are the odds of running into an infected bird? Naruto deadpanned, getting shrugs before he pulls out a magnum, blasting the bird to pieces. Groan. A moan echoes in the air, making them curse, turning to see a group of 8 zombies. Naruto unsheathes his katana and beheads 4 of the zombies and kicks the others into walls, cracking their heads, and hear a scream. Naruto gasps, seeing a red-haired girl, wearing biker shorts and vest. Chris! Your sister's in trouble, let's go! He shouted, worried about his surrogate little sister, getting gasps from them. Sir! Stop now, leave me alone! Chris! Help me! Claire screamed before hearing a door slam open to see Leon in the air, spin kicking the zombie through the window, getting an odd look from Claire. Ma, Claire-chan, getting yourself into these situations again, huh? Naruto teased, getting a gasp from Claire. Naruto-kun! She yelled before giving him a tight hug, getting a chuckle from Naruto and Chris. Claire, what are you doing in Raccoon City? Aren't you supposed to be at home? He asked seriously, getting a nervous chuckle from Claire. I kinda came to search for you since you are combating Umbrella and I wanted to join, she said sheepishly, getting deadpan looks from Jill and Rebecca. Bullshit. She just wants to get near Raccoon, they ranted in their minds. Chris quirks a brow. Really, unless you just wanted to be near my bro Naruto? He teased his little sister, getting an embarrassed blush from Claire. Actually, it's both, big brother, and I know about his clan laws, she said bluntly, getting a wide-eyed look from Chris, grumbling about noisy smartasses. Claire, gonna have to talk with Jill and Rebecca about that later since we need to get out of the city. Apparently Umbrella barricaded the borders of the city. Naruto frowned before walking out with the others when all of a sudden a truck heads toward their way. Leon and Chris jumped to one side while Naruto, Jill, Claire, and Rebecca jumped to one to keep from getting ran over. The truck explodes, making them skid back a little. "Chris, Leon! You alright?" Naruto yelled. "Yeah, we're fine, Naruto, we'll meet you at the station, now go!" Leon yelled, getting nods from them before turning to leave when all of a sudden they hear a gunshot. Naruto turns to see a woman wearing a gas mask pointing an assault rifle at him, while smirking sadistically. "Unless you want to lose that arm, I suggest you get that knife away from me, Vector," Naruto said coldly before punching a man in a gas mask toward his team, getting a gasp of pain. "So this is the so-called Team Umbrella sent after you, eh?" Jill drawled, unimpressed, getting snorts from Naruto and Rebecca. "Manager Spencer is quite upset at you for destroying one of his experiments, Naruto," Lupo said, getting a dark grin from Naruto. "And what if I did? Question is, why are you a mother who has children work for manipulative scum like that bastard?" He scowled darkly, getting wide eyes from everyone, even 4 Eyes. "I can read minds and emotions, it's a family trait. Also, it seems some of you are being forced or you would be turned into test subjects, correct?" he said, getting slow nods from Lupo, Vector, Spectre, 4 Eyes, and Bertha. Naruto looks at Beltway. "You look to be conflicted, Beltway. I might have a way to give you a better leg instead of you having a prosthetic one," Naruto offered, getting a hopeful look from them. "Plus, Lupo, how would Umbrella be able to use my blood if it is toxic?" He grinned, getting angered looks from them. "So management only sent us here to be lambs to the slaughter and gather combat data?" 4 Eyes grounded out, getting a sad smile from Naruto. "I felt the same back in my old dimension, just to be used as cannon fodder." He sighed tiredly, making 4 Eyes confused on what he meant. "Let's get to a safer place first before I explain," he said, getting nods from everyone before walking through the garage doors before they slammed down. "What are the odds of getting attacked in the dark, Lupo?" he said dryly, getting deadpan looks from Jill and Rebecca. Naruto stops and taps a seal in the shape of a Celtic cross, bringing out what looks to be larger magnum with multicolor lights on them and black-colored metal, making them gawk. "Damn, where did you get something like that?" Spectre looked oldish, getting a grin from Naruto. "This baby right here I like to call Yami. It allows me to use my energies to shoot condensed bullets that can cause many nasty effects. For example, observe." Naruto channeled his fire chakra through his gun and aims it at some kind of blind, skinless reptile. Naruto fires, letting out a loud crack as the giant-sized bullet streaks, leaving a fire stream, and nails the thing in its chest, getting a screech as it is burned to ashes. Vector whistles. "Damn, remind me not to piss you off, Naruto." 4 Eyes snorts but secretly eyes Naruto up and down, noting his exotic features till they stop on his whiskers. She walks up slowly before rubbing them, making him freeze before purring, making him look at her in horror. He suddenly gets a shiver down his spine when he sees Lupo and the other girls giving him a dark smirk. Beltway shakes his head. "Dude, you might want to hide from Bertha for a while. She is known to get quite clingy . He yelps, seeing the medic point her combat knife at his groin. Time skip 2 hours later. Naruto looks around on the rooftop, seeing a horde of zombies with some crimson heads sniffing around. 4 Eyes, could you come here for a second?" he asks the lady scientist, who blushes under her mask as she walks to him slowly. "Yes, Naruto, is there something you wanted to ask me?" she asked in a kind tone. "I wanted to know if you had a different name other than your code name," he asked sheepishly, getting a smile from her. "You can call me Yoko. I used to be a high school student till I was recruited by Umbrella, who saw my talent in viral experimenting," Yoko said, getting a smile from Naruto, who suddenly turned serious. "Yoko-chan, do you happen to have a T-virus sample on you by any chance?" he asked, getting a confused nod from Yoko before handing a blue-colored syringe to him, and gasps in horror as he injects it into his arm. "Nah, Naruto-kun, what are you thinking? Why did you do this?" Yoko cried before getting bopped on the head by Naruto. "Oi," she cried before hearing chuckling from Naruto. Looking up, she gasps as his eyes slowly turn from amber yellow to a blazing orange color, making him look very handsome. "The thing is, my entire body is immune to any viruses known to man, so something like that T-virus can't affect me since my body wasn't human to begin with, especially an immortal's body," he chided, getting a sheepish chuckle from her. "Naruto, can you tell us what happened during your childhood?" she pleaded, getting a searching look from Naruto, who nods. Later, everyone is sitting around Naruto, who begins to tell his life from his treatment, to his problems with his senseis, friends, ex-lovers, and leader, and what happened to him in the war, making their eyes wide in horror. At the end, everything was quiet till He was shaking with every emotion he buried under his mask. Suddenly, he turned his gaze down to the zombies in the street before forming the dragon seal. Suetun, Tajua Suryudan no Jutsu! He roared as 30 water dragons formed in the air, roaring, making the zombies snap their heads at the noise. Naruto snaps his fingers, ordering the dragons to attack, which they did, making many explosions, leaving water to rain in the sky, lightning flashing in the background showing his fury and sorrow. Yoko walks behind Naruto and hugs him, making him still till he lets out silent tears while she calms him the best she can, not having any experience in soothing people that were like test subjects to her. I'm fine, Yoko-chan, it'll take a few more hours for the virus to finish its assimilation to my body, and DNA should increase my performance too, he said seriously, getting a nod from Yoko. Vector and Bertha watched Naruto from a little further away. How did he do it? He should have snapped from the abuse and neglect he suffered, and the betrayal just makes me sick, Vector said, disgusted. Just like Lupo, he saw his team as his own family, even if he was cold. I think he covered up his emotions so it wouldn't affect him as much, but that isn't healthy at all. Most have succumbed to madness by doing that. Bertha shivered, getting a slow nod from Vector. Lupo looked at Naruto with something akin to admiration and respect. He is just like me, we both want to protect our family. I'm done with umbrella, so I won't need this mask, she declared before ripping her gas mask off, showing her beautiful silver eyes with a slit in them, and her brown hair flowing down her back. Guys, I'm sensing 6 signatures, maybe 7, they're all friendly too. Wolfpack might want to get rid of those umbrella insignias so you won't get attacked, Naruto informed them while keeping his finger to the ground, getting nods from them before changing into more suited clothing. They walked through the alley, encountering some zombies before appearing out in the street, and hear gunfire coming from another street. They arrived to see another group fighting what looks to be a more grotesque tyrant look-alike. Lupo, please tell me they did not recreate something from the tyrant, Naruto said grimly, getting a nod from Wolfpack, making him sigh in annoyance. Starstis! The monster roared before aiming a Gatling gun and fires a barrage of bullets, forcing them to take cover. Naruto grins, pulling out Yami and charges it with Earth Chakra. Hey Bertha, Lupo, watch this, he said in a sadistic tone, sending shivers of excitement up Bertha and Lupo's spine. Hey! Chrome Dome! Heads up! Naruto yelled, making the monster turn to him, and gets blasted by a brown projectile and roars in pain as the bullet sends it flying 200 meters back, crashing through buildings and walls. Bloody good shot, man! A red-haired girl grinned at seeing such a blast, getting an amused look from a blonde-haired girl who can't help but tease. So Tweed finally got a crush on someone. Tweed blushes before giving her friend a mock pout. Naruto turns to a brown-haired guy who has an amused grin on his face. This a regular occurrence, mister, he trailed off. Name's DJ Spec Ops Assault Operative, DJ explained. Surveillance party girl, she said with a saucy smile on her face, getting a smack from Tweed. Tweed Demolitions Operative, Tweed said, trying not to ogle Naruto. Harley Medic Operative, the bald man said. Shona Viral Specialist, said a dark-colored man. Willow Recon, she said, irritated and tired before catching a pill from Naruto, getting a quirked eyebrow. That's a food pill I developed, it helps fill you up so you can recover your energy faster, he explained, getting a grateful nod from Willow, who chews on it immediately before her eyes bulge and moans in content. Tastes just like seafood. She wondered at the possibilities of this pill being developed for soldiers, getting wide eyes from everyone to think a man made this. Naruto suddenly has to dodge a barrage of fire from what looks to be umbrella operatives. Bertha, remind me to castrate Spencer when I get him, he mutters darkly, getting a nod from her. Naruto raises his hands up, making iron sand form into the sky, shocking everyone who never thought he was capable of this. Be gone! Jiten, Satetsu Kaiho! Large iron spike bursted from the ground, impaling many soldiers before branching out, piercing all 200 men. Naruto snaps his fingers as his Yuki travels through the metal and into their bodies, making them scream in pain as they are melted from the inside out. Waving his hand down, allowing the sand to disperse, turning around. He sees Bertha looking at him with a hungry look, making him shiver with excitement. Ogle me later, Bertha-chan, we need to get moving. He stops, looking up. They see a helicopter holding what seems to be a green canister. Beltway's eyes widen in alarm. Naruto, those canisters are carrying those mass-produced tyrants! Naruto snaps his head before blurring through hand seals. Random laser circus! Multiple beams of water and lightning shoot form his fist, piercing and making the helicopter explode, but the canisters are unharmed as they smash into the ground. Tweed and the others except for Naruto, Jill, and Rebecca tense until the two containers explode, revealing two gray-skinned bald men wearing green trenchcoats, who are scanning the area before stopping at Naruto. Infected target Namixi acquired, the tyrant said robotically, getting gasps from everyone. Guys, it isn't a problem. My body allowed me to absorb and assimilate it into my DNA, increasing my abilities without the dangerous side effects, he said, calming them enough for him to focus on the two tyrants who are charging at him. Naruto grins evilly and channels his yin and wind chakra through his fist, making it glow sliver with a vibrating sound, making Claire gasp. He is generating ultrasonic sound waves through his fists, she said, getting gasps from Four Eyes as she knows what happens when those type of sound waves come into contact with something. Guys, we might want to find some cover because it might get very messy. She grinned, making them get behind the cars around them while watching Naruto in case he needs help. Naruto blurs before smashing a fist into Tyrant 1's stomach, making its body bulge outward before exploding in a gore of blood, making DJ gag. Naruto catches the fist of Tyrant 2, making a crater at its impressive strength before launching 5 blinding punches to its legs, chest and head, leaving it a mangled corpse looking like roadkill. He deactivates his chakra before walking back to Jill, who gives him a wet kiss with lust in her eyes. I am so claiming you when we get out of city. Naruto chuckles before noticing the Spec Ops and Wolfpack looking at him with bulging eyes, getting a sheepish chuckle. He whoops, was all he said. Chris and Leon were cut off from the others by a diesel truck, making them curse their bad luck before having to race through the streets fighting zombies along the way. A gun store owner by the name of Kendo was eaten before they could save him and had to exit through the back door leading to an alley near a basketball court where 5 zombies were moving around unaware of their presence until a kunai entered their heads. Leon and Chris walked up a stairwell only to stop at hearing a familiar cawing, looking up to see a group of infected crows flying in the air. Quickly taking out their silenced pistols using their honed reflexes from Naruto's training, putting a bullet through each of their heads, and stealthily moved across the walkway before entering another alleyway. Chris peers down the dark alley to see a few zombies, 2 standing while another 2 are laying down, but he can see their movements of playing dead. Turning to Leon, who gave a nod before sticking to the wall with chakra and running quickly before flipping over the locked door, landing in front of an empty street, making both of them tense. Leon slowly looks around, his gun at the ready, only to turn around quickly to shoot a Cerberus in the head, with 4 more running at them. Chris, you take the 2 on the right, I take the 2 on the left, he said to Chris, getting a nod before pulling out their respective weapons, both in a reverse grip and blurred in a feat of pure speed, bisecting the bows at the waist. Leon looks around the area before seeing the police station and motions Chris to follow him toward it to see if they can hook up with the others. Let's move, Chris. Naruto will probably have made it inside by now, Leon said before jumping over the gates leading inside the station. With the others, Naruto looks around the street before setting his eyes on the police department and whistles, getting everyone's attention. Guys, if what I am guessing, Chris and Leon should be headed to the police department, we need to meet up with them there. Keep noise to a minimum, silencers on, he ordered, getting nods as everyone placed silencers on their weapons before rushing toward the gates, only to come to a stop seeing a couple of umbrella mercenaries speaking with a gray-haired man. Nikolai! Lupo hissed venomously, getting a curious look from Naruto. Who is that guy Nikolai? You seem to have met him before, he asked, getting nods from Wolfpack, and explained they met him at one of the departments, and told him that he used his wounded comrades as bait to keep the infected off of him. Naruto looked pissed, his hands inching toward his rifle on his back, only to stop. We'll take care of the bastard later, he's of no concern right now, he replied, getting nods from everyone before sneaking past the patrols and infected before ending up at a side entrance of the police station. Let's go and stay on your toes, we might run into those guys in the trenchcoats, he said seriously till his eyes narrowed at hearing hisses inside. Only one thing could make that noise. Liquors, he thought with some annoyance before peeking into a hallway to see a couple of liquors on the walls in the hallway leading to the Star's office. Turning to Lupo and Jill, motioned them to come here and pointed toward the 2 liquors in the hallway, getting 2 nods from the 2 women before placing 2 bullets in their skulls. Jill looks down the stairs to sense anything near and comes up with nothing. Raccoon, everything's clear, she informed, getting a nod from him before they heard a scream of a little girl near and snapped their heads toward a door bursting open with a blonde-haired girl running away from 2 crimson heads, only for their heads to roll on the ground, showing Chris and Leon, who shouted, After her, she's not safe on her own. Naruto and Vector sprang into the action, the others following his lead, and cursed seeing the girl crawl under a blockaded door. Step back, I'm breaking it down. Beltway warned before using his metal leg to smash the door down, turning to his left, spotting the girl. There she is! He shouted, getting their attention seeing the girl flee down the stairs past a bunch of corpses. Doesn't she realize it's not safe? Claire questioned. That's Dr. Birkin's daughter. I believe her mother might have told her to hide here. Lupo informed, getting wide-eye looks from everyone before speeding down the stairs. Naruto and Chris jumping over the rail, ducking into a roll only to roundhouse kick a zombie holding Sherry into a wall. Sherry runs into the hallway leading to the classroom only to scream as a couple of infected tried to grab her through the wooden boards, only for the arms to get sliced off courtesy of a right unpowered kunai, shocking her out of her stupor and running past a pool of blood. Claire runs after her only for a licker to jump in front to block her, only for Claire to flip in the air and smash her heel down, crushing the thing's skull, shocking Chris, who grins. Seems I taught my little sister well. He said proudly before running faster, encountering a couple of lickers blocking their way to the main hall, and to their frustration they lost the girl. Marvin, did you see a little girl run past here? Leon asked, only getting silence, turning to see his boss not moving and with pale skin getting saddened eyes from Claire. It's not your fault, Leon. He wasn't going to make it soon. Right now we have to find that girl. She was cut off by a zombified Marvin, only to get covered in black fire courtesy of Naruto. Leon gives Marvin's ashes a long look before walking away and entering into the hallway and into the room for rookies, only to jump back and pop 3 rounds into a few infected before walking outside into a backyard in some way to see to their irritation the streets becoming crowded with infected. Not even a few hours ago these streets were filled with living people. Naruto muttered before entering a hallway and suddenly heard a chopping sound. Looking up, he gasped, seeing another helicopter carrying containers for more of the tyrants he faced back when he first met Tweed and the others. Guys, lock and load, we might be up for another fight with those trenchcoats. He warned, getting nods before reloading their weapons and walking down the hallway, encountering a couple of infected that were taken out easily with a well-placed bullet to the head and were knocked off their feet as the building just shook on its own until it died down. Tweed groans before feeling herself lifted up, looking down to see Naruto looking at her with an amused smile, making her blush before sitting up quickly, making party girl smirk at her before suddenly paling, hearing loud footsteps. Is that who I think it is? DJ asked, warily looking around the corner only to duck back, seeing another one of those things they fought back outside, only to see it looking around before a hand clamped over his mouth, showing it to be Naruto, who motioned him to be quiet and moved toward the open door, getting a slow nod before they moved back slowly, not making any sound till everyone made it into the hallway. DJ let out a sigh of relief. Why does it seem that thing is talking you, Naruto? DJ raised an eyebrow. It's because Umbrella wants my DNA to create better bows, except my blood is toxic. Anyone injected with it will be melted from the inside out. Plus my body can break down any virus and increase my already inhumane physical abilities. He explained, getting wide-eye looks from them, especially Shona, who is a viral specialist. Starsis! A familiar voice roared, making their eyes bulge before running toward the end of the hallway to find their path blocked by a flaming vehicle, only for the sprinkler to be shot, spraying water over it, dying the fire down, only to hear a scream, making their eyes widen before dashing Tower D door, breaking it down and mowed down some infected, moving toward a shaking Sherry before she runs away. Wait, stop, we're not here to hurt you, Naruto called out as he sliced apart any infected that came near them and had to decapitate another zombie that was close to biting Sherry, who tried to run till he pulled her close. Sure, it's okay, you're safe now, we want to help you, he said softly, getting a timid nod from the girl, who calms down. What's your name? Jill asked politely. Sherry Birkin, she said timidly, getting nods from them, who is starting to see a connection. Where are your parents, Sherry? Naruto asked, only to get a sad look from Sherry. Mom and Dad are too busy with their own work to spend any time with me, she told them, getting narrowed eyes from Naruto and Lupo. What do they work on exactly? He asked carefully. Viral and DNA researching, she told them, getting gasps from Four Eyes, getting everyone's attention. Birkin is that thing down in the labs underneath the city, she yelled, getting wide-eye looks from everyone, especially Sherry, at hearing her father was the thing making the noise in the station. But how is that possible? Sherry asked shakily, getting sad looks from Jill and Claire. Your father, in a fit of madness, injected himself with his own G-virus just to protect his life's work, Lupo said sadly, getting sobs from the girl, making Naruto pat her back softly until she stopped crying before looking up at Naruto with dark blue eyes. Will you be with me? She asked, blushing, getting a soft smile from Naruto, who nodded, getting a happy smile from Sherry before everyone froze. Raga. Oh no. Sherry whimpered, tightening her hold on Naruto. It's him! She cried, holding on to Naruto shakily, getting soothing words from Naruto, and moves to an elevator, motioning to follow as the elevator went down lower till they reached an empty hall and left the elevator, Naruto, Jill and Leon in front. Rebecca, Chris, Wolfpack, and Delta team in the back to watch their backs. Sherry screamed as a licker jumped out, only to get a bullet to the head by Jill. Looking back, she sees Sherry hiding behind Naruto's leg. Sherry, you alright? She asked, concerned. I'm okay. Sherry answered before they heard a scratchy sound, looking to the left to see parasites, only for them to get incinerated by a flamethrower courtesy of Naruto. Those were parasites from the G-virus if they're down here. Four eyes trailed off as their eyes widened at the implications, meaning that Birkin was down here earlier. Everyone snapped their heads toward a scream, running into a corpse room of some sort to their disgust, and had to duck to avoid getting hit by a flying medical bed. Naruto looks toward the source, to his surprise to see a big lizard-like behemoth with one small arm and a larger one with an eyeball staring at him, making everyone else recoil in disgust. Jill looks down, only to gasp in horror at seeing the shed skin of their Chief Iron. Oh my Kami, it's Chief Irons! She shouted, getting wide eyes from Leon and Chris, who looked where she was looking and recoiled in surprise and sadness at their chief being reduced to this. Sherry started to hyperventilate before running, not before Naruto grabbed her locket that broke off her necklace. Muse him! Wait! He shouted after her, only to flip over a swing form, the bow's larger arm getting a growl from him at this nuisance blocking his way, and launched a punch that knocked it against the wall, cracking it. Pulling out his gun, Yami, and began to unload Raiden-powered shots against the bow, causing it to roar in pain. Unload on him! Leon yelled, shaking them out of their stupor, and began fire bullets and shells for a few minutes until they stopped, showing the thing was turned to red paste, only to see a deadpanning Naruto. Overkill much? He said bluntly, getting sheepish looks from Spectre and Beltway. Naruto stared at the corpse with a serious look in his eye. It seems Irons had a parasite inhabiting his body. Looks like Birkin got to him. We need to find Sherry, let's go. Naruto nodded his head toward the door, opening it to lead down to a garage. Leon veers his gun over the place. Sherry, you in here? He called out, only to kick the head off of a crawling zombie trying to grab his foot, and blasted off the heads of 5 more zombies, with the others taking out a group with a few well-placed shots, only to hear gunshots from the other side, looking to see a few Cerberus running that way. Naruto runs to see a woman in red aiming carefully with a look of boredom in her eye, and kicked another dog into the wall, not seeing the last one, only for a flash of light to enter her vision, showing a dark-haired man standing beside her with a foxy smirk on his face. Looking down, she sees the zombie dog split in half. Impressive, not many would think of using a sword against these things, the woman said, smirking while analyzing him, trying to determine if he's trustworthy, while Naruto is doing the same thing just as the others get here. Thanks for the save, you saved me some bullets, she said appreciatively, getting a nod from Naruto. Naruto Namikaze. He held his hand out as she shakes it, getting a nod. Ada Wong. Ada introduced before walking toward a door, ignoring their calls for her till she aimed left to shoot a few zombies in the head, smirking at Naruto flirtatiously, getting an amused look from the immortal ninja. Ada opens the door leading to a darkened hallway. Hey, wait up! Claire shouted, getting a sigh from Ada, who turns to them. What? She asked, irritated, only for Naruto to shoot a licker through its skull, getting a gasp from her. You alright, Ada? Naruto asked, getting a nod. I know we don't know each other that much, but we need to stick together. Wandering off will get you killed, he said sternly, getting a nod from the black-haired woman before hearing a scream. Get away from me! A male voice shouted. Ben? Ada said, surprised. No! Ben screamed before dying down, making everything quiet till they heard footsteps. It's coming this way! Leon shouted before moving out of sight, with everyone else who watches Birkin come into view, making some of their breaths hitch in their throats. Claire looking at him with fear and had to duck back to avoid being seen by it, and sighed in relief as it left through the door, making everyone relax. Was that the chief? Claire asked with disbelief, getting negative nods from Lupo. That's Dr. Birkin. The man turned himself into a monster just to keep his research out of Umbrella's clutches. Lupo said grimly, getting positive nods confirming her suspicions before Naruto ran toward Ben's cell with Ada causing everyone to follow. They soon arrived to see Naruto with a grim face looking toward what he saw made them almost vomit. Ben looked like he was ripped in half only to narrow their eyes at the small trail of blood outside the cell. Birkin must have planted a parasite in him. Yoko calculated, getting a nod from Shona, who scanned the body, getting wary looks from the others who kept their guns at the ready. Claire saw a writing on the wall. With no hope I write this. She read only for everyone's eyes except a grim Wolfpack team to have eyes of disbelief. And no way Chief was in league with Umbrella. Jill breathed shakily, with Rebecca and the others trying to not to believe it except an angered Naruto who was starting to see too many similarities between Irons and the bastard Sarutobi who manipulated his life. Yoko noticed the dangerous aura around Naruto, placing a hand on his shoulder causing him to calm down before noticing someone was missing. Where'd Ada go? Naruto questioned, making everyone notice the woman wasn't with them. Leon noticed something else. The bodies are gone too. Everyone snapped their heads toward the entrance to the lockup to kill two infected walking toward them before heading to find Ada, only to encounter a group of zombie dogs, making Naruto growl ferally as his orange eyes blazed ether-allied before hacking apart the infected animals before jumping down a manhole, landing in a sewer with the others following his lead. Claire suddenly shrieked at seeing something that made her shudder. Big-ass spiders. Naruto and Leon stared at them with a look of disbelief before swinging their swords, sending a wave of fire down the passage, incinerating the deadly spiders and a lot of baby spiders, making Claire sigh in relief before moving closer to Naruto and wrapped her arms around him, shaking. Naruto rubs her head softly. Sure, it's okay, they are gone, Claire-chan, he said soothingly, getting a nod from Claire, and continued moving through the corridors carefully till they ended in another hallway, only to have to blast more parasites, making the others growl in irritation before picking apart more infected. Anyone there? Naruto called out. Naruto, is that you? Ada's voice called, making him pick up. Ada! You alright? He said, concerned. I'm fine, here, take this case. She yelled before throwing a large black weapon case through the vent, landing in Naruto's hands. Goodbye, Naruto, we'll meet up later, she said before walking away, ignoring his shouts to come back. Naruto sighed before opening the weapon case, and what he saw made him grin evilly. A sawn-off shotgun with triple barrels, a wooden frame, and as he read the name he grinned even more. Hydra. Beltway looked at the weapon and couldn't help but whistle at seeing the deadly-looking firearm along with the others, knowing that is gonna cause big damage. Seems Naruto-kun has a thing for big guns, Claire joked, getting snorts of laughter lightening up the atmosphere before hearing more scratching noises, turning to see more parasites moving toward them only to get blasted apart in a shower of gore and blood. Everyone turned to see a demonically grinning Naruto with his hydra aimed at where the parasites were, the barrels smoking slightly. Me like, he said in a sing-song voice, making them pity the next zombie that meets Naruto. Naruto opened a door on his right, coming into a boiler room of some sort, but before he could think any further he had to catch a metal pipe aiming for his head, looking up to see Birkin looking at him with what appears to be a superior smirk. Naruto glared at him with hate. So you're the asshole going after Sherry? He questioned, getting a somewhat grin from the behemoth, only to cry out in surprise as he got decked by a pissed-off Naruto with the others following him, only to gasp seeing Birkin. Birkin saw Wolfpack, and a flash of fury entered his eyes at seeing the ones who ruined his research, and swung the metal pipe again only for Naruto slice it apart, angering Birkin. Spread out! He barked, getting nods as everyone moved to different spots in the room while Naruto engaged Birkin up close. Naruto tossed Hydra toward Claire, who caught it before throwing his vest off along with his shirt, sealing it into a scroll, leaving him bare-chested, showing his chiseled muscles, causing Claire, Lupo, Bertha, Tweed, Willow, Party Girl, and Yoko to blush seeing his muscles and 12-pack abs. Naruto clenches his fists, gloves tightening against his tough skin as his orange eyes blazed with his protective side coming out. Let's see which carrier will prevail, the one of the T-virus or G-virus, which I will be taking as my own after I'm done with you, Naruto growled as his hair spiked up, a black smoky aura forming around him, RE5 Weskier style. Birkin seemed to growl before gripping another pipe and yanking it from the walkway, only for Naruto to smirk and settle into a stance, his fist cocked back and a palm facing forward before blurring in a quick motion just as Birkin swung the pipe down, causing the containers to shake, nearly knocking everyone off. Only their own reflexes allowed them to stay balanced. Naruto appeared sliding under his guard before launching a palm strike to his chest, knocking the transformed Birkin backward before spin-kicking him in the head, getting a bored look from Naruto. Is that all? To think the G-Virus would be stronger than its predecessor? He mockingly grinned, making Birkin growl before charging at Naruto with all his weight, only not noticing the speeding kick that sent him over the edge. Raga! Birkin roared as he fell down the chasm, leaving Naruto with a slight frown, knowing that won't be the last he's seen of Birkin before catching his Hydra from Claire, not noticing the bolt loosening on the walkway till it was too late. Naruto cursed, berating himself for not paying attention as he fell in midair down in the sewer as his friends' cries sounded. Naruto-kun! Naruto! They shouted, seeing their friend fall down the same way Birkin did, with the girls having to be restrained not to fall. 20 minutes. Naruto landed in a crouch in what looks like a sewer and saw to his annoyance more infected playing possum annoying him in no small amount before unsealing his tight sleeveless shirt and putting it back over his muscled frame, and snapped his head forward hearing gunshots, and used chakra to stick on top of the water to move quickly to see Ada hiding behind a wall from the oppressive gunfire. Ada, he called out, getting a surprised look from the woman before covering it up, ducking back to avoid more gunfire before glancing down her gun on the ground while glancing at the direction of gunfire. Ada! No! He called out before stomping the ground, erecting a wall of earth to block the bullets before grabbing Ada, much to her hidden pleasure, and jumped back to his original position just as the shooter ran, promising to kill him for interfering, making him snort at him being killed. Naruto took the wall down before turning to Ada. Ada, what you did was seriously reckless and stupid. Are you trying to get yourself killed? He scolded her, making the woman blush in embarrassment at her poorly made plan to get her gun back, and pouted. What else was I gonna do? Just wait for her to go away? She shot back. Yes, Naruto said bluntly, making her huff indignantly before feeling something drip on his arm to see blood seeping from a wound on his shoulder, the wound already healing, making him snort at the lucky shot before pulling out a locket and opening it, with Ada not looking into his shock and hidden glee to find a G-Virus sample. What should he do with it now that it's in his hand? Could destroy it, except someone or something would get infected by it. Could hold on to it till it is handed over to the government. Could inject it into his DNA, allowing it to mix with the T-Virus to create something stronger. Some flunky from Umbrella get their hands on it. Naruto pulls the cap off of the syringe and stabs it into his arm, barely flinching, and pushed the on, injecting it into his bloodstream, and waited for the effects to happen before noticing Ada left again, making him groan till he felt his muscles bulge a bit and his body changing. He felt his eyes change, noticing his everything moved even slower, and his vision getting sharper, and heat signatures appearing in view, mixing his wind and water chakra, forming an ice mirror, and sees his eyes turning a dark purple with no pupil and a black sclera, and feels his nerves and reaction time more faster and quicker until he heard movement from the left to see a worried Jill looking at him with shock and happiness. Naruto crushed the empty syringe in his hand. That's the last sample of the G-Virus. The only way for Umbrella to get to it will be in my blood, which will not help them either way, he said triumphantly, and noticed he seemed taller and more muscular. Naruto's eyes suddenly glowed, making Jill feel wet for some reason till her eyes clouded with lust before pouncing on him, kissing him with vigor, shocking him at the pheromones she's leaking before he feels his cock gripped by a lustful Jill. Me now! She growled, her brown eyes glowing ether ally, getting a feral grin from Naruto before pinning her to the wall. As you wish, Haim, he said in a dark husky tone. Lemon scene. All young ones leave now. Naruto shreds his and Jill's clothes, leaving them naked, Jill's shaven snatch wet, and looking at his 13 member before stroking it while licking the tip hungrily, making him growl in pleasure before he groans, seeing Jill engulf his member down her throat while staring at him. Jill begins to suck and slobber all over his cock while rubbing his balls, causing him more pleasure before grabbing her hair and begins facing her, making Jill's eyes roll into the back of her head while fingering her pussy at the intense pleasure her mate is causing her. After 40 minutes, Naruto feels his cock twitch before moaning as he came down Jill's throat, who sucks all of it up, making his member harden instantly before placing his cock at her entrance. Don't worry about my hymen, it broke thanks to your training, she assured him, getting a nod as he plunged into her womb, instantly making her scream in pleasure, bucking her hips as he pounds her, turning her mind into mush from the overwhelming pleasure. Naruto growls, "You like that, don't you, bitch?" Jill moans in lust at her mate's dominating voice as his thrusts pick up speed and force their flesh smacking against each other, making lewd sounds in the corridors. Jill growls, nibbling his ear, and began matching his thrusts, eager to show him her stamina, as a grin spreads on both faces before howling in pleasure before her leg is lifted over his shoulder and pushed against the wall as his cock pounds her deeper and harder than before, making her drool with Ed's stupid look on her face before feeling his cock swell inside her and a warm feeling in her stomach as his seed paint her insides white with hoses of it. She pants before screaming in pain and pleasure from his cock stretching her ass, making him smirk before ing the hell out of her ass, making her moan in pleasure, loving the way he is ing her. Faster! She all but growled, getting a nod as his hips became a blur. She groans. Harder! Naruto-sama! She howled, making the demon ninja roar as he pounded her small hole before burying his cock into her coming and causing her to orgasm instantly before moving again, making her eyes widen. I'm going to you until you are sore all over, he growled and leaned into her ear. Jill-chan. He rolled her name over his tongue, making her shiver in excitement. The next few hours the sewer corridors were filled with lewd moans. Lemon end. Hope you liked it. Naruto and Jill cleaned themselves up before putting their clothes back on before moving down the corridors in the sewer and found 2 medals with the eagle and a wolf symbol on them leading to a water pollution testing room and encountered a bunch of frog-like bows. Naruto flipped through 4 one-handed signs. Right on, Kangekiha! He shouted as a wave of black electricity flows into the water, frying many of the Gamma hunters. They were about to move to the next room only for Naruto to point his Hydra behind him at a blonde woman with a handgun in his back. Woman, even if you put that bullet in my chest it won't kill me, so please save your futile effort to kill me on your monster of a husband. Naruto narrowed his eyes, making the woman tremble at the amount of power behind his glare before backing off. What are you two doing here? The woman asked. We were searching for Sherry, Naruto said, getting a wide-eyed look from the woman before she begins panicking. No, she was supposed to hide out in the police station so William wouldn't find her, she shouted before explaining that the G-virus commands its host to reproduce. One knot of its DNA would produce only weak offspring, making their eyes narrow in rage. So William is going after Sherry to plant a parasite inside her, he growled before hearing Sherry's scream, making his eyes widen before he blasted through the door with Jill following, not before she heard Annette explain about the vaccine in the labs underground. 10 minutes later, Naruto runs down the hallway to see Sherry running from a crocodile, its jaws about to close around her only to get punched through a gate. Naruto! Sherry cried out before clutching her chest in pain as blood dripped from her mouth, alarming Naruto before using his Dijitsu to sense a parasite growing inside her stomach. Sherry, I'm going to use my demonic energy to make you feel better, but it will turn you into a half-demon, he explained, getting a pained smile from the blonde girl. As long as I can be with you, Naruto, I won't care if I turn into a demon, she said shakily, getting a tearful smile from the demon ninja before biting her neck and injecting his Yuki into her body, causing a golden shroud to surround her body as Sherry's body became more womanly and taller, her hair having streaks of blue in it, and her nails turning to small claws and small fangs jutting from her upper lip. Jill soon arrives just as Naruto gives Sherry to her, explaining what he did, getting a smile before it frowns seeing the giant amphibian before it catches a red canister stuck in its mouth, making them smile evilly before pulling out 2 handguns before charging their chakra, making them glow. Any last words? Jill asked, getting a smirk. Yes, just 2 words, he said before moving behind Jill, his guns horizontal to her with smirks on their faces. Jackpot! They shouted in unison before 2 blue spirals hit the canister, blowing the thing's head off in a gory fashion. Naruto moves to Sherry and stroked her hair, making her snuggle deeper into his chest, mumbling mine over again, making him raise an eyebrow before running to a transportation tram, encountering a few zombies and dogs, where Naruto found a Remington M70 that had quite a punch, allowing him to blow their body parts off, making him giddy. They reach the tram as it takes them toward other side, while Naruto holds Sherry in his arm only for the room to shake and a clawed hand to pierce the ceiling, making them narrow their eyes. William! Naruto and Jill watched for any movement before riddling the man's arm with bullets, making him growl in pain before trying multiple times to grab Sherry with his clawed hand till Naruto got tired of it and sliced his clawed hand off with his black katana charged with right-un chakra, making Birkin roar in pain before leaving, getting a sigh of relief from the 2. I'm not sure that's the last we will see of him, Naruto-kun, Jill said, getting a nod, eyeing the hole where his arm was until closing his eyes while keeping Sherry warm. 5 minutes later the tram stopped, leaving them near the facility for the transportation port that leads to the underground, only they encountered another one of the trenchcoats, eyeing Sherry till he killed it the same way the first two were killed. They continued onward till they came to some sort of elevator, and explored the inside, noting there was a bed for Sherry to rest. Naruto and Jill suddenly tensed before dodging a claw through the wall that almost speared through her arm until it was pulled out, making Naruto growl in irritation. "Stay here, Jill, I'll deal with this asshole," he ordered before slamming the door open, walking out to the still-moving elevator and started looking for Birkin, only to catch a throw pipe. Birkin suddenly started groaning, his severed hand started bubbling until a new claw sprouted from the stump, making Naruto frown. "So he can regenerate lost limbs, but it seems to take too long," Naruto calculated before jumping back from a clawed strike from Birkin. Naruto gives William a cold stare. "I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to Sherry," he yelled before charging with his katana in a reverse grip and began dodging and weaving through Birkin's slow strikes and slashed at the eye, causing him to roar in pain and start swinging wildly, missing Naruto every time while he continued getting slashes to his weak points. Birkin suddenly lurched forward before he started bleeding profusely and started walking slowly toward the rail and jumped and latched onto the wall, watching Naruto from his mutated eye, having a staring match before departing ways, vowing to destroy Birkin till there was nothing left. Naruto walked in only for a speeding bullet to slam into his stomach. "Oof!" He grunted, only to smile at the grinning Sherry, whose eyes, which were dead looking, were filled with such life. Back then they were black, now they were scarlet red with a black background with a fox slit. "Thank you, Naruto-sama, for saving me," she said with gratitude, making Naruto look at her with owlish eyes at his title. "Sherry, you don't have to call me Sama, I see I be your master," he said nervously, only to get a stubborn look from the transformed Sherry. Sherry's eyes turned cold, surprising him and Jill. "You saved my life, therefore you are my master, and anyone who does not meet my approval will suffer," she said in an eerie tone, making Naruto and Jill pity whoever pisses her off. Sherry suddenly blushed before looking away shyly from her crush/master, unknowingly leaking pheromones, making Naruto and Jill's eyes widen and shake their heads at Sherry having a crush on him, knowing she will be too stubborn to let it go, so they stood for the rest of the ride in silence. Sherry asked a serious question. "Master, will you train me just like Mama Jill?" Jill blushed at being called Mama before looking at Naruto with a silent question. "Should we?" He nodded with a smile before nodding at Sherry. "Yes, Sherry-chan, I will, along with Chris, Leon, and the others." He grinned, getting a megawatt grin from the girl, who started bouncing around like on a sugar rush, getting chuckles from the two ninja. The elevator suddenly stopped, signaling they reached their destination, and opened the door, looking around to find red lights blinking, confusing them, only to hear someone shout their names, turning to see Leon and the others trailing behind him. "Guys, we got to get out of here, this place is going to self-destruct. And sorry to tell you this, but Ada and Anna didn't make it." Leon said the last part with sadness, shocking Naruto, feeling a piece of him shattered, while Sherry only remained blank before burying her head in Naruto's arm. "Let's go," he said in a saddened voice, but inwardly he is chuckling. "I know you aren't dead, Ada. We will meet again, I assure you of that," he declared in his mind, his eyes glowing briefly as Naruto and his group began to dash toward the tram leading to the outskirts of the city, and had to run from a rampaging nemesis and a tyrant with its deactivated limiter. They run through another door only to jump back from a large dog-looking bow, only for them to gasp seeing it was Birkin, only for it to roar in pain from being shocked by a clone of Naruto who motioned them to move toward the tram. They arrived at the tram. Upon entering they noticed the systems were down. "Naruto! The systems for the tram are down!" Spectre yelled, getting a nod from Naruto. "Everyone stay here, I'm going to open up the gateway for the tram and restore power with these plugs," said Naruto before dashing toward the power room, blasting and cutting through doors since he is on a time limit, and finally found the room, noticing it was way too quiet but sensed nothing in the area before proceeding to hook power cables up to the machine and watched as the lights turned on, signaling power was restored. He nodded to himself before going back to tram, only to stop as two figures landed a few feet from him. "You show yourself again, Nemesis Tyrant," he said with no emotion at seeing the two annoyances before whipping out his two pistols and began firing rounds into the tyrant's heart and engaging Nemesis in a fist fight, and smashed his fist into its face, sending it through 2 floors and burying it under rubble. He dodged a dashing claw from the tyrant before having to catch a rocket launcher, looking up to see Ada, not wanting her to get away from him even if she is working for Weskier, and teleported Net to her, chopping her on the neck, and aimed the rocket at the tyrant. "Eat this!" he shouted before firing the rocket dead center at its chest, causing the explosion to blast its body parts all over the place before throwing the empty weapon away. He looks at Ada's unconscious body in his arms. "I don't care if you worked for Weskier, I can tell it's not of your free will," he said, remembering Haku's devotion before dashing through the doors, causing the ground to crack, feeling he wasted enough time in another nightmare. 20 minutes later. Sherry is moving around helping everyone as much as she can and heard the door open to see Naruto walk in with a woman in a red dress. "Naruto, who is she?" she asked, pointing at Ada's body. "She's someone very special to me," he explained, getting an understanding nod from Sherry, who gives Ada a look over, getting a sweat drop from Naruto seeing the little girl try and play matchmaker, shaking his head before telling everyone to get the tram moving. Spectre and Willow press a couple of ons before pushing up the lever, causing the tram to move, picking up speed till it started moving out of the about-to-be-destroyed lab. Spectre checks everything, noting it all seems to be working fine till red lights started to blare, confusing them except Naruto, who pulls out his Hydra shotgun before walking toward the cargo bay doors. "I'll be back, it seems Birkin just doesn't know when to give up," he said darkly, getting a look of rage and hate from Sherry's scarlet eyes at the one that tried to use her to produce those disgusting monsters. With Naruto moves through the cargo bay, looking around only to stop from hearing a groaning noise of metal being pressure until the roof burst, making him flip backwards, only for his eyes to grimace in disgust at seeing the once human William Birkin reduced to an oversized blob with many teeth and a gaping hole of a mouth. "Sherry!" he roared, only to get its mouth pumped full of lead by a cold-looking Naruto. "Sherry-chan has wiped her hands clean of you, William. The only one she forgives is your wife Annette, who you killed." He shot coldly before shooting the incoming tentacles, causing Birkin to roar in rage and pain until it annoyed Naruto. Naruto shot the cable connecting the tram to the cargo, disconnecting it, leaving a roaring Birkin to become consumed in a wall of fire burned from existence. Naruto stares back, his hair billowing in the aftershock winds, only to snort. "Good riddance, that's another nightmare over. I just hope those idiots back at home do not find a way to this dimension unless they want to suffer the wrath of my mates and me," he muttered before walking back to Jill and the others, not knowing that Cammy is going to act like a bitch from now on. The tram soon came to a stop. Once they moved outside, they were soon surrounded by a lot of people wearing black suits and glasses. One tried to grab Sherry, only to cry out in pain from getting punched by Naruto, who pulled out his Remington, aiming it at every single one, daring them to come near the others, backing him up. Naruto, Chris, Leon, Jill, and Rebecca instantly formed 50 clones, each having the same weapon, aiming it at the soldiers in suits. "What are you idiots doing here?" they said, coldly flaring their ki at the soldiers, making some go into cardiac arrest until someone came forward. "We would like for Miss Berkey Dash." He was cut off by a smaller yet large amount of ki coming from Sherry, who had an icy look in her eye, making some of them shiver from seeing such a cold look in a little girl's eye. "I have washed my hands clean of the Birkin name. My name is Sherry Namikaze, got it?" She snarled at them, baring her large fangs, making some piss themselves, while Naruto feels his heart touched. "Do you really see me that way, Sherry?" he thought before moving his view back on the soldiers, while the man with the coat nodded. "The president wants both Naruto Namikaze and Leon to work for him to protect his daughter. He's allowed you to accept or decline either way you see fit," the man explained, getting wide-eyed looks from Wolfpack and Delta Team. Naruto looked toward Jill and the others and Sherry. "Only on one condition, that Sherry comes with me so I can train her in everything I know. I have special skills and heritage that allow me to do superhuman feats along with Leon," he said, discreetly motioning to the greedy, calculative looks in the other soldiers' eyes. The man nodded and he hands them a picture. When they looked at it, Leon blushed bright red, making nearly everyone snicker at him, embarrassing him even further. "So," Naruto began in a sing-song voice, making Leon pale before he gets teased relentlessly by Naruto, Jill, Lupo, Yoko, and Claire, while the others laugh at his expense. Naruto stares at a lone man in a suit frantically talking on a phone while giving him a scared look, making him smirk evilly. "You won't be able to touch either of my mates once I get through training them more," he thought darkly before walking to waking up Ada. Naruto sees Ada wide awake and gives her a stern look, making her shrink under his gaze. "Ada, do not think you can escape from me. You will be coming with me as the president's security detail, and we are going to get to know each other better," he said, looking at her with soft eyes that she can't tear away from until she smiled her first true smile before nodding. Jill looks back toward the city. "Naruto, I can't go with you," she said sadly, only to get an understanding nod from Naruto. He pulls out a Harashin kunai and hands it to her. Just throw that and I'll be there in a flash. But be careful that Nemesis BOW is still out there in the city," he said seriously, getting a nod from Jill, who disappears in a purple spark of lightning. Tweed, Willow, and Party Girl walk over to Naruto with shy looks on the normally tough women. "Yes, can I help you ladies?" He smiled foxily, causing their cheeks to heat up before poking their fingers shyly. "Would you like to go out sometime after you go to the next city?" they asked shyly, getting mutters of "lucky bastard" from the soldiers. Naruto eyes all three and smiles warmly, making their stomach feel fuzzy. "Sure, it's a promise, but you're gonna have to get Sherry-chan to agree," he said jokingly, causing them to look over to see Sherry a few feet from them, smiling sweetly with a grinning Shinigami visage behind her, making the ones who want to pursue Naruto laugh nervously. Bertha shivers. "How is the brat so scary now?" she said lowly, getting shrugs, not knowing what to say before chatting with the others before departing. Naruto looks at the ones who have a special place in his heart before declaring to protect them with his life. "That's a promise o' a lifetime," he whispered to the wind as the visages of Minato, Kushina, and Jiraiya appearing next to him, smiling. "Always believe in yourself, Soichi," they whispered to him, getting a wide-eyed look from Naruto, who smiles with a teary eye before his purple eyes glowed with a renewed fire. Thanks for watching this video. You really enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow Legendary-Nioh for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.